All right, so we're down here, and I was in a good mood. I was excited. Okay, I ordered the motor mounts. Let me hang on. Let me just show you real quick. Let me show you what it's like to just try your best and lose because nobody knows why. Because Napa did me dirty, damp, and deep yet again. And so the thing is y'all have heard me talk good about Napa because that's the state of the other auto part suppliers, at least in my area, is that they literally, you go in there and tell them you want a motor mount, they look at you like you're speaking Portuguese. They don't even know what a motor mount is, okay? Because there's like a 9-year-old boy back there with gauges in his ears and all this stuff who nothing against him. If he wants gauges, great, whatever, wonderful. It just doesn't seem like the proper working environment for him because he doesn't know what a motor mount is, okay? All right, anyway, Napa, at least here locally, generally did all right. They've screwed me a few times, but this time they got me. They got me real good. Order the motor mounts for the Dauntless, right? Order the motor mounts. Great. They don't carry them in the store anymore. They won't even ship them to the store. I'm already pissed off at this point. Already mad, all right? But you know what? Whatever. They're like $10 a piece. They're for a 76 Buick Skylark, you know. I realize there's not that many of those on the road, so I'm willing to give it to Napa, you know, whatever. So I get them. I get one brand new one, right? This one's brand new right here. This is the passenger side one right here, brand new. And it is different from the original ones. I'll show you here in a minute, but this one does interlock up here at the top. So, you know, it is what it's supposed to be as far as the part itself. This one's good. This one's brand new. It's made in China. So this one's fine. China, you know. This one's all right, okay? This one's in a new box. Everything's kosher, all right? Now let's hang on. Whoa. I know what you're thinking. Then what are you mad about, Red Clay Drill? Let me show you real quick. Let me go ahead and show you. Then you go ahead and you open your other box, which for whatever reason was on the Titanic, because this ain't no new box, Chief. All right, this ain't a new one. All right, this is probably, if I had to guess, that looks like an 80s era, possibly 90s. It's old enough to where this motor mount was made in America. That's how old this mount is. That's how long Napa's had it just been sitting on the shelf. All right, and so they sent it to the Red Clay Traveler. And you're like, well, what's wrong with that mount, Red Clay Trailer? What's wrong with it? This is what's wrong with it. It's not mounted anymore, all right? It's not glued anymore, all right? It's already separated. It's trash is what I'm trying to say, all right? It was like this when I got out of the box. It was separated a little bit. I just tore it the rest of the way free right there for exaggeration purposes to demonstrate. So, you know, yeah, so when it breaks, it's not going to have full separation immediately because it's going to come down and hit. But we're not putting this on Jubal, all right? So this is trash, all right? And the box is from 1941, you know, just the start of the war for America anyway. And so, you know, and the thing is when you order it online from Napa, this is the dirty, damp, and deep part. You can't just take it over to your local Napa and they give you the money back for it. No, you got to ship it back to Napa's warehouse. You got to have them ship you the special QR number, QR code, whatever. You got to package it up. You got to take it somewhere. You got to mail it for them. You got to do all this crap. They have to get it. Then they give you. It's not worth it. This was $10. These were like $10 a piece, plus shipping was $10. So it cost me, let's say, $32 or something after it was said and done to get these. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna get bent out of shape as far as the money. The money's not an object here. I don't care about the money. The money's not. A man of my status and wealth and whatnot, as y'all can tell by the way I dress, I'm not offended by that. I'm offended by the fact that it's just literal trash. That's what I'm offended by. That I can't use it, and it's going to hold up the project here. because I got a few days off before I go to Miami, and I wanted to get the Dauntless into that truck right there. See that? See this bay right there? It's not going to put the Dauntless in itself, and this is delayed now because I had to order this. Nobody has it in stock, so I had to order it, and it took days to get here, so now I'm going to have to order another one. And I don't want to order it from Napa because they're getting stuff up off the bottom of the Baltic and shipping it out to people for some reason. Sorry, that's a gas can, by the way. So we're not ordering it from them again, so I'm going to have to try to order it from somebody else, and see if they can't screw me too. So, as you can tell, I'm in just a touch of a mood now. I was in a good mood. Now I'm not. No, I'm not. I filmed a video a couple days ago. I was going to post it, but then I decided that it wasn't good enough. So I'll just give you a synopsis of what I did, and then we'll move along into this video, which is not going to be what it was supposed to be, which was me showing you the mounts and everything and how they're good and they're great and they're wonderful and all that. It's not that. But before we do that, before I lose my train of thought, let me show you real quick at least the difference in these mounts. So this is an original Dauntless mount right here. The only thing adhering this to this is whatever glue or resin or whatever that attaches this rubber to this steel plate. That's it. So if this sucker separates, it fully separates. Completely comes apart. All right, this one, as y'all saw, it interlocks like this. So when this one comes off, if it does this, the engine's not just gonna, free fall away because it's hooked into itself. So it can fall, it can move around, but it's not just gonna literally come to pieces like this original one did. This one, the rubber's completely gone on it. This mount failed completely, and there's nothing interlocking it together, so a total failure, critical failure. This one won't do that. Okay? Now, I'm pleased by the fact that this was made in America. It's just I would wish, rubber parts aren't known good for sitting around for 75 years. So they're not known for that. So this isn't a reflection of probably the quality of American-made goods, but although y'all have heard my talks about that, just because it's made in America doesn't make it good. We all know that. It's probably more indicative of the fact that Winston Churchill was 17 when he was put in that box and put on the shelf at Napa, and then they just left it there from now on until the Regulate Traveler came along and gave them some money for it. So that's enough of that. I think y'all have heard enough of this. All right, let's move along. Move along. Everything's fine. Move along. All right. Let's go over here. I was having a bit of a trouble with this distributor. It was being an issue. Okay. But the other day, this is the video I filmed the other day that I'm not happy with, so no reason to post it. I monkeyed with it for a long time. And basically what it was holding it up is the rubber O-ring at the top of the shaft that seals it into the timing cover. It's tighter than Dig's hat band, all right? Like Dig's hat band times 12, all right? So it was just fighting me to get it in there. So now we got it in there. It's lined up. My marks are lined up properly with the button. It's orientated according to my pictures and measurements and whatnot, exactly the way it should be. So it's more or less the way it should be. I'm sure we'll have to adjust it a skosh, but it's more or less. The other problem I ran into is the hold down for it. All right, the hold down for this engine originally was a points distributor, and this is for a points distributor. Okay, this HEI distributor. Sorry, there's some ghost activity. This HEI distributor is a little bit different at the base where it goes on the timing cover, which means that this doesn't fit properly. So when I put it back on, I had to stretch this hole out in it tremendously to get it to even go into the hole in the timing cover to even try to clamp it down. Now that could be an issue with the new timing cover, that the hole isn't spaced exactly the way it was supposed to be. It could be a couple different things. I never did pay attention to how well this was holding the cover on, or holding the distributor into the old cover. Never paid any attention to that. So I don't necessarily think it's a problem with the new cover. Doesn't really matter if it is. This is the cover that's on the engine. That's the one we're using. So we're not overly concerned with that. But this won't work, because when you clamp it down on the distributor, these forks right here aren't holding the distributor base. It's clamping on the distributor like right in here. So there's not actual adequate down pressure onto the top of the distributor. So I'm going to have to get another one of these. I'm hoping a kind of a run-of-the-mill generic 350 one, or not a 350, another Buick style engine one, let's say. Maybe a little bit newer one that came with an HEI distributor or something. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's not really critical right now, but I'm gonna have to either make one or try to find another one. So that's I'll deal with that at some point, but we ain't gonna deal with it right now. This will be enough to clamp it down to like get it running right when it's in there and test drive it and stuff. This will work, but it's not permanent, because we don't need the distributor gyrating around and coming loose. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Everybody knows. All right, so anyway, distributor's in, and I even scuffed the side of the engine off and painted it. Now, it ain't no jam up paint job or nothing, but it's the best paint job it's had in 50 years. So it's it's black now. I've got to order this manifold gasket, whatnot, but that's not that big a deal. I need to rotate this engine over. We're going to scuff off the other side, paint it. I'm going to paint the valve covers later and the intake later. I just want the block one color, more or less. So yeah, let me rotate it a little bit, and then we'll paint the other side. What is that? Is that oil? Yeah, that's oil. Okay, that's oil. I was thinking that was where water had been leaking on it, when it raining or something. But we were supposed to be. The plan was tomorrow to be working on getting the willys installed. I mean, or at least getting close to getting it in there. At least mount up the, which I can still do. I can go ahead and hook this to the transmission, put the clutch in. I can do all that. It just it's upsetting me. All right, you got things in your mind. I was hoping to get the motor mounts ready, so I ain't got to worry about that. But that's not in the cards right this moment. So. No reason to cry over spilt Dauntlesses. You just have to adapt, improvise, and overcome. All right, that's all we gotta do. It ain't no big deal. Nothing's easy that's worth doing, as they say. So you just gotta roll with it. Like I do. Y'all can tell I'm laid back. I'm chilled. No reason to get upset. No reason to get emotional. All right. No reason for none of that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this manifold off, because I'm going to go ahead and change both manifold gaskets. Because why not? And also it'll make it easier to paint this, because this manifold's in the way. So I'm not sure what size it is. Probably 9/16 or something, because everything on it's 9/16. What do you know? Let's go ahead and see if we can't break a bolt off in the block. This hose is just stay over there, bro. This is a really good ratchet, by the way. This one's a Husky. They don't carry one exactly like this anymore, but it's extendable. It's got an extendable handle on it. So it's good for them situations where you need a little bit extra, but not a breaker bar. So I've had this ratchet a long time. My brother had one like it. I think he's still got it somewhere. But this one's come in handy a lot. I've used this many times where in an area where you needed the extra torque, but you didn't need a breaker bar because you couldn't fit it in there, this ratchet's come in clutch, as the kids say. So we can pull these bolts out. We're gonna put them in this is a cup that I take camping with me that I forget's down here, and we're gonna put them in there. How about that? And also the other day, I was working on my boss's Camaro, because as y'all have heard me say, if y'all have ever seen the 2 videos I posted on the other channel, my boss has a fancy for the wrong year Camaros, alright? And somehow I always end up getting roped into working on them, which I don't mind. It's actually quite nice to work on something that I don't have money invested in and stuff. It's actually nice sometimes. But anyway, I was working on it, and I was trying to get a manifold bolt out of the end of it over here, okay, on this Camaro. And I had an easy out in it, and I was bowed up on it, and I'd heated it, and I'd sprayed Earl on it, and I'd done everything like you're supposed to, and I was messing with it, and I was leaning on it pretty good, and backing off, and working it back and forth and whatnot. And then that easy out decided to break, all right, which, 9 out of 10 times when I use an easy out, that's what they do. And so here I am like this, up underneath the car lift, bowed up on it like this. It snapped, and I was trying to keep from crushing my hand, and for some reason I decided to headbutt the side of that steel beam that the car's sitting on that 4-post lift. And I headbutted it hard. I'm talking like wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or not Stone Cold Steve Austin, it was Goldberg, the spear, he'd spear people with his bald head. I did that, but it was to a steel beam that the Camaro was sitting on. And I lost vision in my right eye for a little bit. I didn't fully lose it. It was just blurry real bad, And I had a pop knot that swelled up on the top right here on my head. You might could still see it right here. And I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I've been getting weird comments on the channel, by the way. I'm not sure what they mean. I had a guy comment the other day on an older video. All he said was, and I quote, "You need help." And I did respond to it, and then I just deleted the comment because, I'm not interested in entertaining just random comments that don't mean anything or derogatory or anything like that, because it's just, I don't, this is for fun and enjoyment. I don't know what that means. It's clearly, I wrote back, my response was mentally or otherwise, because, it's clear that I need help, obviously, but if you're going to insult me, I would at least appreciate you put a little effort into it, I'm easy to insult, obviously. There's plenty of material for you to work with. You watch the channel, you know this, but I'm saying, just don't, put the effort in if you're going to do it. Don't take the easy way out. And then another guy just commented, I still don't know what it means. All he wrote under the video was first. If you're watching right now, I don't know what that means, bro. I even wrote you a question mark. I don't know what that means. First what? First on race day? What? I don't know what that means. So if I was supposed to know what that means, I don't. So you can tell me what that means, or if it's a secret message, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not in the Illuminati. I don't know. I'm not in the Bilderberg group. I don't know. Right? I've never been to Bohemian Grove, so I don't know what these cryptic messages that people write me mean sometimes. I don't. So, yeah. Other than that, it's good to be back. I'm glad to get to interact with y'all, talk to y'all some more. Y'all seem excited about the willys here. I'm excited about it, even though it's going to fight me tooth and nail to the bitter end. But that's part of the fun that people tell me about, and how much fun I have doing this. So, well, that one's already loose. So that's always good. There's a reason why I'm replacing these, because I'm not convinced that they were ever any good, the gaskets. And also, one of them has a bolt broke off down here on the end of it that we're going to have to address, which I'm looking forward to. I might just end up buying another manifold. I don't know if I can't get it out. I probably can get it out. I'll try not to hit my head on a 4-post lift this time. black out, but I need a deep well for this one. Let me grab a deep well real quick. Don't go anywhere. Don't adjust your screen. All right, just calm down. Put your shirt back on. Put your shirt back on, people. Where's it at? 9/16. There it is. Otherwise, we're good. We're doing good on subscribers. Keep smashing that subscribe button, as y'all know. Keep smashing it. Doing good on that. Overall, we're doing. Whoop, there we go. Channel's still growing, steady, pretty good. We're not breaking no records. I don't really care about it. I just want people that enjoy Jeeps to see Jubal, maybe get inspired to work on the Jeep they already have, maybe get one like the one they grew up driving. A lot of guys tell me that they had Jeeps similar to the ones I have on here when they were kids, and they grew up driving them. It's what they learned to drive on and all that, so I like that. If I can walk you down memory lane a little bit watching my stupid self on here talk, then I consider that a win. So, yeah. Let's pretend that we care and paint this, okay? Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Let's kind of roll it into the light, maybe just a touch. That'd probably be cool. Now, I don't have anything to wash the Earl off of this, but it has been pressure washed. And the center of it is, I'm not going to say it's grease free, but paint should stick to it if you put it on thick enough. So, I did pressure wash the inside of this water jacket out when I put these freeze plugs in. I think I told y'all about that before. I'm just going to spray paint over these spark plugs because I'm going to put fresh ones in it anyway, so that's no issue. Just tighten them up a little bit. The freeze plugs are in there, pretty happy with those. The gasket, I tried for the oil pan. I can't remember if I told you this or not, but I was trying to follow the book and put it to the spec that it was supposed to be, which I believe was 10 pounds. And every time I did it once and it blew out the gasket on the side. Thankfully, I had to order another gasket because another set that I ordered didn't come with the things I needed, if y'all remember that. And so I ended up just taking the whole pan off, putting another gasket on, and it tried to do it again on one spot, but it didn't blow out. I stopped beforehand, so it's on there, it's snugged up and everything, but don't follow that torque spec. For 10 pounds or whatever it's supposed to be. And it's not inch pounds. My book that I referenced said 10 pounds. So maybe it was a misprint, maybe it was supposed to be something else, but either way, just don't do it. Don't do it, kids, all right? Don't do it unless you want to have sadness, unless you want to be up a river of excrement without any means of propulsion. If that's what you want, then go ahead. Go ahead, all right? Basically, we're just going to spray this paint on real thick, and then most of it's going to fall off, but that's okay. I've already went through the trouble in the past, if y'all have been watching the channel for any amount of time, to prep an engine right, get it down to bare metal, prime it, all that, just to watch it fall off immediately, and I'm just not that interested in that anymore. We're doing what we can to beautify it, all right? If they're not impressed with Jubal as he looks, then they can't be impressed, and they're not the kind of people I want in my life anyway. I don't want negativity, all right? I've already got a dark enough sense of humor as it is. Stuff some paper in these ports, just to keep some of the paint from going in there. We don't need to fill it up. Alright. And you really should paint over those old holes, but I'm not overly worried about it. So, not enough paint's going to go in there to matter. I'm actually painting over the old gaskets right now, which is going to be nice because I can peel them off when I prep the surface for the new gaskets. We're just wanting to block one color. That's all we're looking for. Nothing. Not trying to win no beauty contest, nothing like that. We're even going to paint this greasy alternator bracket because YOLO. And runs are welcome, you know. Runs add character, people. That's what they do. They make it look homemade. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. If y'all want a real professional job, let me tell you, you're watching the wrong channel, ain't you? Yeah, you're watching the wrong channel, all right? This is the, you know, I guess this would be the white trash variety hour of Willys content, you know. I don't prefer the term white trash, even though many folks have called me that over my years. I prefer the term Appalachian American, okay? That's what I prefer. I've had many people tell me all kinds of quite insulting things because you wear overalls and you do this and that and you like old stuff, you know. It's always nice when people go out of their way to insult you for no reason. One of my personal favorites is based off how you looked, you appear to be a lot more intelligent than I thought you would be. I really like hearing that. You look real stupid. Turns out you're not as stupid as I thought that you would be. I don't know what kind of comment that is to say, you know, like that just seems, you know, but, you know, I've heard it more than once, you know, so it's clearly I've got that stupid look, which I agree, you know, why do you think I always say my stupid face? So, I get it. It just don't seem real polite to be saying out loud, you know, seems like one of them things you keep to yourself, but, you know, whatever. Some people just need to get it out there. It's like them fellers that write and tell me about how my Willys truck ain't no good and all that, you know, it's like that. All right, we got that painted. Let's say it's painted, sure enough, it is. You know, some of it will stay, I think, and what doesn't stay, we can always paint over later, you know. How about that? I think that's a damn good idea, don't you? I think so. Like I say, I'll probably paint the intake and the valve cover. I'm going to obviously paint the valve covers later. I'm just trying to paint the stuff I can't get to when it's in the truck. So there's that. Turn your cans over upside down. It keeps them from jamming up, you know, allegedly. I always do it. I don't know that it does anything. I don't know if it's worth a plug nickel, as the kids say. You know, plug nickel ain't worth very much, all right? So I don't know if it's worth greater than or equal to said plug nickel. I don't know. But it might be helpful. So yeah, that's where we're at. We got the engine crudely painted black on both sides. Distributor's in. Basically all the critical stuff is done. We need to go ahead and the transmission obviously over there appears to have been painted not too long ago. So I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm just going to put a new clutch in it, slam it to this Dauntless, and we're going to see about getting it mounted in there. I did order the transmission mount for a Dauntless, for a Commando, and I'm going to see if that's something that I can adapt to the willys cross member, I think I can. If not, then we'll go another route. We'll figure it out. But either way, I want to get it in there to some extent so that we can start making the mounts and everything. But I need the motor mounts to be able to do that. This hence why it's offending me deeply. Making my eye twitch just a touch because I just want a willys, bro. That's it. That's it. But this video ain't too exciting. It's been rambling. I hope you like my passion and my little bit of rage. Okay? I hope you like that. Let's see. We were to do a little history chat of some kind before we sign off. A little one. Nothing major. Oh, okay. How about this? In World War One, there was a dog named, what was it, Sergeant Stubby, I think was his name, that wandered into an American encampment and started hanging out with all the soldiers, right? The doughboys, as they were. And it was hanging out with them. A little dog, I don't know what kind, if it was a mutt or what it was, but it was hanging out with them. And allegedly, the story goes is that the commanding officer came into the formation and saw this dog out there, and he wasn't too keen on it. He wasn't tickled at all. But the dog sat back and saluted him because I guess the dog had seen all these soldiers saluting officers all the time and whatnot. So I guess he, sorry, I'm just going to stagger for no reason, saw them doing it. So the pup just sat up and, threw a hand up. And so the commander let the dog stay. Well, that dog ended up in France with them. And the story goes, and is that Sergeant Stubby, is what they called him, was in 17 battles. He alerted the U.S. troops to a gas attack that they weren't aware of because I guess he could smell the gas ahead of time. He alerted the U.S. troops to a German infiltrator into the American unit. I guess they sent a German over that could speak English with a proper American accent or whatever. And apparently this pup could smell him out of the distance. I guess he smelled sauerkraut on him or something. I don't know. But he knew that he wasn't American. He knew he didn't belong there. And the dog allegedly grabbed this German by his ass and held him in there in the trench until the Americans came up and got him. So he was wounded, I think, 3 times. When he came through this village in France, according to what I was looking at, that the women in that town sewed him a blanket so that they could hang the medals on him because they kept giving this dog medals because he'd done so much nifty crap in the combat zone, And he met 3 presidents, and I think they said he got 3 bones a day by the YMCA, met 3 presidents, 3 bones a day, and was just a legend, in his own time, this pup, Sergeant Stubby, I think is what they call him. I like stories like that. There's all kinds of weird stories about animals in warfare. There was a Confederate unit, I think they were from Mississippi, that had a camel with them during the Civil War. Like, where you wouldn't think of a camel being anywhere near the Civil War, anywhere, let alone Mississippi. I want to say it was Mississippi. There's all kinds of weird stories like that. There's the horse in Korea that did all the nifty stuff, hauling artillery shells up and wounded soldiers back. There's pigeons in World War I that got medals and stuff for delivering messages back and forth across the trenches. That kind of stuff, I dig it, because it's just neat to see, how intelligent animals are, how they learn, how they adapt, how they can perform tasks like as if they understand to the full level what's at stake, what the objective is. It's pretty impressive. I like it. But anyway, that's a little history chat for you. So yeah, anyway, I'm the Red Clay Trailer. I'm going to shut up now. And just remember, when you order from Napa, if the box looks like it came off the Lusitania, it's probably not going to be good. I love you all deeply. I hope you enjoyed my rambling history talk. I hope you enjoy me rambling about the Dauntless, me cussing Napa. I hope you enjoy these things. I hope they bring you joy. I hope they make your day lighter. Or if nothing else, I hope they at least amuse you. I love you all, deeply love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful tomorrow, and I hope you're here with me when we get the willys rolling. because Lord willing, it will be at some point in the future. It will be. It doesn't have a choice. It's going to have to. Either Willys gets done or I die or something like that. That's the only thing that's going to stop the Willys from getting done, you know? So, yeah. It's basically, it's a given. One or the other. It's going to happen. And if I don't, I've instructed my brother. If something was to happen to me, I've instructed my brother, you put the Dauntless in Jubal and you drive it for me like that country song. You know, I drive my brother's truck, I drive his truck. I said, you put the Dauntless in Jubal and you enjoy it. Okay, you embrace it. So either way, it's getting done. All right, so love you all. I'll see you all shortly. And I hope you enjoy this. I enjoy doing it. Hope you enjoy it. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. You can hear me ramble about history and my hatred for other various things involving Willys parts suppliers and other such things. So, yeah. Get it, buddy. Yeah. Willys. Yeah. Yeah. Look at it. Look at it over there. Look at it. Look at the Willys. Look at the Dauntless. Look back at the Willys. Look back at the Dauntless. Hopefully combined at some point in the near future. Yeah, buddy. Get it. Yeah.